We're celebrating the grand opening of the new emergency department and cardiology wing of the hospital. The mission of the hospital is to improve the quality of life in our community. Although running a hospital is only one aspect of that, providing state-of-the-art, high-quality, safe care with a lot of privacy is an element of being nationally recognized, which is one of our vision and missions, is to become nationally recognized for quality. Most recently, just last week, the Leapfrog Group named us the only A-rated hospital on the North Shore. I think this platform is going to give our staff and doctors even greater opportunity to maintain that A rating. It's all private rooms, both in the emergency department and upstairs in the cardiology wing. It has the latest in patient monitoring. It has brand new isolation rooms to ensure the common infectious bugs that exist today don't escape those rooms and infect other patients. It has on-stage, off-stage type of concept where patients don't commingle with staff or doctors in the corridors. They have a high degree of privacy as a result. It's in terms of capacity, the current emergency department only has 14 beds. The new emergency department has 31 beds. The old emergency department was only designed to handle about 24,000 patients a year, and we're treating 28 to 30,000. So we were long overdue for an expansion to simply render care that we expect to. So 31 patients will put us in a position where your wait times will be minimal. As a matter of fact, you notice downstairs we don't have a waiting room. We have a lobby because we're going to bring patients straight back to be seen in their own private room. And it's expected, based on demographics, that this new facility will be adequate for our community till 2035.
Oh, this has been a dream for me for all along. I've been the director of the emergency department since 1987 till 2008. Yeah. So when I first started working in this emergency department, it was a small department with 8 rooms, and we used to see about 14 to 15,000 patients a year. And we remodeled the ER, increased the size of the ER to 14 beds, the present ER right now, and we outgrew that fairly quickly, and so we've been wanting a bigger ER with more rooms so we can see the patients faster and see more patients, So this has been actually a dream for me to have a yard like this, So
it's an investment in the community. This is a $31 million expansion project. This is phase 1 of more projects to come. And we're still, after Hurricane Katrina, we're still in recovery, but now we're being able to respond to the demands of the new impact on the societal problems that we had. After Hurricane Katrina, we see really a shift in migration in the population. It exploded. But this hospital, the old emergency department, was designed merely for about 14,000 visits with a 14-bed emergency department. We see upwards of about 30,000 visits right now. So this will create not only virtual capacity to see these patients, but real capacity. So we'll be able to definitely handle increased pressures and demands upon our department. We have an in-house computer tracking system, which would allow us to basically communicate with several departments throughout the hospital. And that's going to be the whole goal, is to have targeted care. So when you come through the door, we're going to have that point of emphasis. The time that you meet the provider is going to be up front, and then the time of disposition is also up front. So things are going to happen simultaneously, not in more ABC, but in more of a serial type of fashion.
How is the community involved in this?
Well, the community paid for this. The citizens of East St. Tammany passed a bond issue and renewed it back in 2011 to fund this expansion, a continuation or renewal of a bond issue that we'd used to build our cancer center and several other things. But the vast majority of the funds came from the taxes of the citizens of St. Tammany, who are the owners of this facility.
And how do you think this facility will benefit the community?
Well, emergency is really important, obviously, at a hospital. Our old emergency room, although we had very good talent talent was a much smaller. We had moving from 14 beds to 30 beds, and it kind of was getting kind of backed up. The city has outgrown that old facility, and so now we have, not only is it more beds, but we have a state-of-the-art facility with the type of, we have a division between the private areas and the public areas, so that so everything will be a much better for the citizens if they come to our hospital needing emergency, whether it's a minor care. We've got a separate unit for doing minor issues, which a lot of people come through, versus the trauma patients that come in the back door. That people are going to get, I think, a much better service, and we'll be able to get them into the hospital if they need to quicker.
It's an honor and a privilege to come here and represent more than 1,100 employees that work at Slidell Memorial Hospital, more than 300 physicians that work here, and it's a little bit humbling to be the representative of that group, but it is a great pleasure. We're introducing to you the latest innovation in healthcare here in Slidell, Louisiana. The 6,400 square foot building features cutting edge facility design and technology for both emergency and cardiology services that match the professionalism of the physicians, the nurses, the technicians, the therapists, and the other staff that support those people. There's three things that guide our organization. Our mission statement is to improve the quality of life in our community. We have a local focus, which includes providing a great hospital, but much, much more. We work very hard for you and want to provide you absolute best value for your dollars. So I thank you as a public for supporting this hospital and this endeavor through your tax dollars, and we pledge to you to provide you everything that you deserve out of that. Facilities, this facility is based on the latest standards of care and equipped with the latest technology. It makes a difference in our customers' medical experience, and it gives the caregivers much more effectiveness when working with the best tools of their trade. Our vision is to be nationally recognized for quality. Earlier this year, a survey of more than 600 in our region, from Bay St. Louis, actually from Biloxi to Covington to Poplarville, reported that the Slidell Memorial Hospital Regional Cancer Center was an equal favorability rating to that of MD Anderson Cancer Center. Now, in the creation of this new emergency department and the Heart Center at Slidell Memorial Hospital, we look to similar results in this facility as well. Most recently, just last week, the Leapfrog Group, which is a group overseeing safety and quality in healthcare as a result of major corporations, General Electric, General Motors, 3M, and others, rated Slidell Memorial Hospital an A, the only hospital on the North Shore rated an A by the Leapfrog Group, one of only two in metropolitan New Orleans rated A. We're very proud to announce that towards nationally being recognized for quality. The last of the three things that guide us is our values: a positive attitude, compassion, professionalism, knowledge, and competency. All of these are elements of fulfilling our values and providing a healing environment here in this facility, conducive to our values for patients, families, doctors, and staff. The building itself is not what delivers care, but it's an important part of the puzzle to make sure that you get the absolute best possible care. Staff and physicians are much more productive in a healing environment that's conducive to that. Today we're opening a very fabulous facility that is unsurpassed in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. Thank you again to the public for supporting the endeavor with your tax dollars. Our pledge is to offer great health care locally. Remember that emergencies, time is of the essence. Time saves heart muscle, time saves brain tissue. I think we have a platform now to take you very quickly and provide you excellent care. Locally also provides jobs locally by doing health care local. By providing jobs, we support the economy, and the facility design and the facility was designed with tremendous input from physicians and other medical professionals. Thank you for your time and efforts towards designing the program to ensure the best product for the community. Now, if that's not enough, let me tell you that phase 2 of this project, this is only phase 1. The wall behind you here is a temporary wall. Immediately upon opening the emergency department, when the old ED vacates, we break ground on the phase 2 project. Within about a month or two, We'll be tearing out these walls and building a connector and building the outpatient element to the SMH Heart Center, which will have all outpatient diagnostic cardiology in one location. That should be opening around September of 2014.
The Board of Commissioners represents the citizens of East St. Tammany who are really responsible for this, and that they passed a bond issue in 2003, which helped the hospital out of very difficult circumstances, allowed them the space that they need, elected a new board to whom we're responsible to basically provide services in this hospital to keep a public hospital functional in Slidell. And as board, we've been trying to be respectful of the citizens that put us here and elected officials that appointed us, and to be responsible stewards of the funds that have been given to us. A couple years ago, we had a renewal of that bond issue to build the heart center, to build the cancer center, and more recently, a renewal to build the ED and the cardiology unit. And our motto is to try to keep the promises that we make to the citizens that appointed us and the ones that funded this. And I think we've tried to do our best. We think that the administration of the hospital and the architects and others that had input into building, because I think if you tour this, you'll see that this is a facility I think that will make a difference in the care that people get coming either into the emergency room or upstairs to cardiovascular surgery, and as we go into the heart center. To provide services to the citizens that they deserve, and that they'll be pleased to say, yes, this was worth funding. You all are continuing to do a good job. You've kept the trust that we've placed in you, and that's what we're trying to do.
I want to thank everybody for coming to this grand opening. I really appreciate it. And when I first started here in 1984, me and Dr. Stafford, I would like to share the podium with Dr. Stafford. We're the two guys that started here in 1984, so we've been here for about 28, 29 years. So we struggled to, initially we had a small ER with about 8 rooms. In 1996, we doubled the size to about 14, 15 rooms, and now look at what we have, almost double it again. Initially, we used to see about 15,000 patients a year, and then we went up to 28,000. We'd like to see about 50,000 in this unit, we were able to accomplish this with community leaders and the community support. I really want to thank every one of them. And now it's time for us to, as an organization, show the community what we can do and give back to this community. And that's our goal, to provide a quality service in a timely fashion.
I don't want to make an elaborate speech, but I want to make a couple of things very clear. This is a dream come true for us. We looked at several plans over the years, last 20 years, and many things evolved around the parish. This is finally coming true in a full circle for us. This is what we always looked for, aspired for, and this is a great opportunity for us, for the community to provide services. The distinguished guests that are gathered here, the community that has supported funding this place, ultimately this is a great opportunity for us to have the quality of care that we can provide to our patients. Giving the right tools to do the right work is the best we can ask for. Now we have all the tools we can. We are committed as cardiologists here. We will commit ourselves to providing the best care of in cardiovascular services to the community, and that's our commitment to you all. And this is not just us. The staff that supports us has been going through a lot of training in the last several months. The nursing staff, the administration has spent a lot of money in training, educating all the nurses. This staff is ready to go, and they've been improving on their skills. They've been learning new things, a lot of things that are happening. There are new technologies coming on board. They're spending a lot of time doing this. Finally, we can say we are here at that threshold of cutting edge of medicine and cardiovascular services, and I'm proud to be a part of it at this time. And I want to thank the chairman of the board and the entire board and the community and the leaders that are gathered here for giving us this opportunity to serve. I know these are representation of our small cardiology services, but there are a lot of other cardiologists that take part in this, and I want to invite them. And on their behalf, I want to thank you all for giving us this opportunity and a place for us to excel and do the best care for the best outcome. As Bill said, time is essence, time is muscle for us. We want to move quickly. The cath labs that are there, that are already in place, they're wonderful. They're already state-of-the-art. We are providing far superior care than we were able to do in the past year. So this alone is also, this is just an initial phase of it. Now with the second phase going in, the outpatient services will also excel and perhaps even superior to a lot of other services that are provided in this area. We want to be the #1 facility in here, not just in numbers and scores, but we want to provide the best care. The difference that gives us in this area is we provide compassionate care. Our staff, the nursing staff, they actually, just today, one of my patients going back home after bypass surgery, he tells me the nurses here are excellent. It's not the buildings that provide care. It's the nursing staff, the doctors, and the administration that allows them to give the tools to do the right things. So I'm proud to be a part of this growing phase in our cardiovascular services in east side of the community, east side of the parish. So I want to thank every one of you. I want to thank the citizens for supporting this. And we look forward to, as a staff and cardiologists here, we look forward to be of service to you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Basically, it's always said, it's like a metaphor, that you stand on the shoulders of giants. And when I had been given the opportunity to come here, it was really through a special invitation. We had the privilege to train at Charity Hospital. Before Hurricane Katrina, it was the #1 leading program in emergency services and trauma-based services. So we had individuals who were extremely dedicated, motivated applicants from all over the world who wanted to train at LSU Charity Hospital System. And the forefathers, the godfathers of emergency medicine, I had the privilege to be under. And those individuals handpicked this group to be here. Dr. Kumar, you have to share the stage with me. Dr. Stafford, I need you up here as well. And also, I need our nursing side to be represented. Tanya, she likes to hide in the back. Limited, could you please come up for a moment? Because literally, this person right here, Tanya and her staff of nurses have really went out of their way, built this thing, and she wants no credit. And she hates being up here because it's hard to stand up in front of everyone. But I can remember when the baton was being passed, and talk about a giant shoe to fill with Dr. Kumar. Everyone in the community loves him, respects him, acknowledges him, and it's based on his compassion. Because when you hear him talk about Slidell and the community, it's a love that comes out. It's much more than just a building. This is a life's work, and I'm proud of you. And Dr. Stafford, I'm proud of you too. These gentlemen are family. It's family, and it's a family of community nurses, and also all of the ancillary staff that you may never hear. But when you come here, it's taking care of our family. And I can assure you that the amount of dedication, professionalism, and compassion and respect is going to be put into every aspect of what we do. Not only will it be innovative, but you'll have a double reward. The staff will be breaking down the doors to come to work here. That's the goal. And the patients would like to come here because they're going to get a win-win. And that's that dynamic interaction that we strive for. So on behalf of the emergency department that I represent, it's really a privilege to be here. And I'm humbled. Now, thank you. Thank you all.
This is the largest project in Slidell from a construction project in quite a number of years. And I'm going to leave some of those details to later in the event. Our Chief Operating Officer, Bruce Clement's going to speak to that. But in our community growth, one of the people that has really had a lot to do that, I know our election of Parish President Pat Brister, focused on economic development. We're trying to grow this hospital in order to address a growing community's needs, and I'd like to have our Parish President come say a few words, please.
The parish is proud to have such a leading, comprehensive healthcare facility called St. Tammany Home. This addition, coupled with the advancement in the way it's designed, as well as the use of leading technology, this hospital will be a leader in emergency care for this region, not just for this city. The experience our citizens will have in this new cutting-edge emergency room facility will be the standard by which other institutions will be judged. Private treatment rooms and dramatically reduced wait times will allow for our citizens to get the care they need in quick order. In addition to the incredible emergency room improvements, the new all-private room heart center located on the second floor will be a hub for cardiac care. These newest components to Slidell Memorial Hospital will create more opportunities for citizens of St. Tammany to receive top-notch care right here in our parish. And on a personal note, as a recent breast cancer survivor, I can tell you how important it is to be with your family when you're going through that horrible treatment. So, thank you. With this expansion, the economic impact, my favorite subject is economic development, to the city of Slidell and the parish as a whole will be felt immediately. More residents of St. Tammany will be able to work closer to home, and these cutting-edge facilities will attract quality medical professionals to our area and keep them here. And I thank you all for all the hard work that you have done to get us to this point, and I am very proud to be here to be a part of the opening. Thank you.
Bill, on behalf of the City of Slidell, we want to thank you for making Slidell and Slidell Memorial Hospital a fantastic healthcare provider. So, again, this is a wonderful and fantastic place. Before the mayor left, he appointed me as acting mayor before he went out of town, and Lionel's here to represent the city council. We have a certificate to welcome and congratulate. This is presented to the Slidell Memorial Hospital Emergency and Cardiology Unit. May this symbolize the opening of the door to a future and great success. Thank you for choosing Slidell. And it's signed by Mayor Drennan before he left and Lionel Hicks.
Wonderful.
Lionel, you got any
Wonderful.
words?
No, thank you. Just good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
People ask me all the time, how do you get the kind of people you get that run that hospital? Well, to tell you the God's truth, I don't know. I think they could drop out of heaven by parachute or something like that. Because we have a board that, and I do follow it more than they think. We have a board who is absolutely remarkable. Well, we have here Larry Ingram, just look at just one, okay? I don't want to offend anybody else without naming. Larry knows more about money than Alexander Hamilton did. And so he kept all that together for y'all. Dr. Lane teaches this stuff at UNO. I mean, I don't know how you get them. And the medical staff. I've had friends ask me repeatedly, how do you get doctors like this? I really don't know. I think it's an act of God. To get doctors like this, they could practice successfully anywhere on the planet. And here they are. Which reminds me, there's one person who's been pushing for the cardiology part of this forever and ever. He's not here today, but we need to remember him and to thank him for it whenever you see him. And that's Dr. Thomas, Ignatius Thomas. Make sure when you see him, you thank Dr. Thomas, because he started talking to me about this when I was chairman of the board back in 1982. And that reminds me, too. This place is a long, long history, and I got part of that history inside of myself. In fact, I can tell you all, when Moses had his heart attack, he came here. And we took care of him, they saved his life, and then he spent 40 years in the desert. So all of that. Last time we opened a hospital emergency room, we were doing this very thing. Nobody knew how to say Dr. Kumar's last name. So I introduced him as Dr. Kumar, I'm your mama. And he told me today that's still his name. Kumar, I'm your mama. All right. So I want to tell you all of that. I want to tell you one last thing. The toughest things are yet to come, mainly because of what's happening nationally in healthcare, okay? Well, and now I'm speaking to the whole community, through you all, through whatever press is here. I'm speaking to the whole community. We have to preserve this hospital, whatever it takes. We're not only a public not-for-profit. We're a public not-for-profit, not for monopoly. Everybody understand? Okay, so whenever the next challenges come that deal with that, we've got to deal with it, whatever the hell it takes. Because this hospital can't go off anywhere. Remember what I told you. They saved Moses' life before he went into the desert. God bless you all.
Slidell Memorial Hospital was the first hospital on the North Shore to do open heart surgery.
Yes.
Okay? First hospital. So this is a continuation of innovation that this hospital has undertaken for quite a long time.
where this facility stands was a street at one time. And the board and actually it was your predecessor came to us and said, we want to build a hospital on your street. And we were like, how's that going to work? So through many, many months and many, many meetings, we came to an agreement and worked it out, and the city gave up the street for the city, for the Slidell Memorial to build this building where it is. Had meetings with Mr. Billy, with Seisler, Thompson, Brown, architects, and they were like, this is the only way we can do it. The mayor came to us as a council and said, I would like for this to go forward. I didn't do it by myself. I had the help of all the members of the council. It passed unanimously. I just did a lot of the groundwork in all the meetings and putting together the legislation that made this happen. I'm excited. I live in the neighborhood right here. I want to be able to come to this hospital when I need it. I want to bring my children here. That hasn't always been the case in the past. Not going to talk about that much, but you know, there have been problems, and to see you where you are now, it's amazing. It's almost like you can't believe it's true, and no one still can pronounce Dr. Kumar's last name. I think I can, but I'm not going to try. All the efforts that you did in a facility that was, you know, kind of behind the times, and now we have this great, wonderful facility. It's cutting edge, state of the art, and it's like Bill said, it's not a monopoly. Competition is good. Competition makes people better. It's made you a better hospital, obviously, because you stepped up to the plate. And thank you for stepping up to the plate. Thank the city council and the mayor and our city government for stepping up to the plate and making this happen. And thank you, Bill Davis, for your leadership. Thank you.
This is a monumental project deserving of these. You know, somebody mentioned a minute ago, maybe it was Mayor Sam, that said, with healthcare reform, uncertainty. The one thing that you can be certain of is if you come to this hospital, you're going to get the best care with the most compassionate heart every time. And that's our promise to you.
I learned on Saturday night that my youngest daughter was going to attend Rhodes College in Memphis as I escorted her out as she was being presented in a Mardi Gras ball in New Orleans. And I said, darling, thank you so much for letting me know that. I really appreciate it. She's studying the classics. So I thought today I would just have one saying for you, and that's from Seneca, the Roman philosopher. He said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And today, as we look around and we look at what we've accomplished, we move from beginnings to ends to beginnings. And that's what's really exciting, and that's what's kept me here for 28 years. It's always been challenging, it's always been exciting, and it's been incredibly rewarding to work with the physicians, with the administrators, and with the staff. This was a $30 million project, $25 million from the bond issue. Thank you very much to the citizens of the parish. We could not have done it without you. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. Not everybody has a president that helps them. And she's a great lady. We've built the largest ED in the region, as our parish president has told you. We went around the country to find the most appropriate, the most modern, and most viable design for this, and we think we found it and brought it home. We had over 1,000 people touch this project from the start to the beginning, an amazing statistic, and it's something that I know as long as I live, I'll never forget all of the wonderful people that I had to interact with and to work with to get this brought to conclusion. When we thought about the project, I brought it forward and said, we need to close 12th Street. And we had a leader in place at that time. It was not Bill Davis. We had a leader in place at that time that said, Bruce, you'll never do it. And I said, you'll never do it unless you try. And that's when we got started. And it took us 5 years of working with city administration, our city council, Tara Ingram Hunter, Buddy Lloyd, all of the people who have been so generous and helpful to us. And Tim Matheson, thank you for being here today. I want to tell you that without the support and cooperation of the city, we would not be here today. This would not have been a reality. So for all of you who helped us on the city side and the governmental side, thank you. Our design team, with Billy Sizer, Alan Ohlmeyer, Steve Temple, and Christian Jones, and about 6 other architects and support staff that work with us. We designed the building working with our medical staff and our employees. We spent over 2 months after we got the funding approved, sitting down week after week after week, determining what the building would look like. And I believe our architectural firm has brought in what I believe is a world-class facility, and I compliment the Sosler Group. Thank you, Alan and company. IMC Electrical, Chip Higbee. Thank you, Chip, for all the work that your company has done. In addition to being the largest emergency room in the area, it's also the most sophisticated. We have over $300,000 of access control devices in here to protect the patients and the staff. You won't see that in any other facility in the area. Citadel Builders, Denzel Clark, Greg Forney, Matt Pearson, John Boyd. I want to tell you, Greg, it's been a long journey, it's been a good journey, and it's a journey that's going to end with a wonderful finish. And I thank you and your company for everything that you all have done. You've built a beautiful building.
We're also on the upstairs increasing our more intensive studies, our intensive units, so that if somebody comes into the emergency room, they don't get stuck there. They can move upstairs to one of our more intensive care units much more quicker and get the care they need as fast as we can give it to them.
The driving force behind the new layout is to create an environment that's conducive to healing and safety.
I think the most important the features is actually the patient's privacy and also family's privacy, and we're able to move the patients fast, see the patients, and move the patients faster, so to cut down on the wait time and the throughput times.
Okay, it seems like cardiac care is a large focus of this new ER. How is the technology helping that, and how do you think that this will benefit the ER?
Well, cardiac care is one of the main focus of the ER, not only of the ER, but as a hospital. We wanted to increase the cardiac capability for this community. You know, that is one of the reasons why, because the community wanted private rooms for the patients and all. That's what we did. You know, we built the private rooms. You know, which is that we have now about 38. You know, private rooms, which would be convenient for the patients and also their families. You know, and also we're going to be working on heart center, which should be open sometime this time next year. So I think we always try to address what the community needs are, because community has been great to this hospital and they supported this hospital, you know, all along. So we're there to serve the community, and that's what we're going to do.